What is it?
How are you doing? I'm excited.
You are.
Pretty much so, yes.
Why could that be?
I found my old D200.
The D200, man, it's junk.
Junk? That's not junk. Why would you say that?
10 megapixel APS-C heavy old junk.
Yeah? 10 megapixel APS-C sensor?
That's not big enough for me.
That's what she said.
Man, with this resolution you can do nothing. It's just not enough.
That is enough. Do you remember back in 2006 when we shot excellent cameras? They got 6 megapixels. It was fine.
Right.
Whatever. And I found the 50mm 1.4 and the 35mm 1.8G. They are so nice.
I found more old junk.
Junk? What do you mean?
They're not usable on modern cameras.
Not usable on modern cameras. Your mom is not usable on modern cameras.
Oh,
Don't start with old
the
again.
D200 is junk. It is too big and doesn't fit in anywhere.
That's what she said.
Right.
Heavy with a tiny brain inside. That's also what she said. It has a sensor that differs from modern CMOS sensors. It has a CCD. But is it magic? A heavy rock. That's a heavy rock. Well, it's better to throw. And it fits better into your hand than a little tiny light rock. It's better to throw. This is another rock. The D200 is an APS-C 10 megapixel camera. There's kind of a hype around this camera on YouTube, as it seems. I have this camera, but not for the hype. So is this camera magic? No. This camera will slow you down. Don't get me wrong, there's magic in every camera. Look, it transforms light into an image. It captures it. It catches it. If that's not magic, so yes, of course there is magic that surrounds every camera and every system. But this camera in particular, well, I do not get the hype. I own this camera and I do not see... The only hype that I understand is that it reminds you of the past. It reminds you, it slows you down, right? It reminds you how the image looked when you and I, that are a bit older, started photography or used cameras. Back then, it was a modern camera with a modern CCD sensor. Today, people are in for the retro look. But back then, when this camera was new, people were in for the retro look then, right? So the cameras that were then obsolete, so to say. I don't get the hype. Why is there no hype around the D40? It's an APS-C sensor too, 6 point some megapixels or 7 megapixels, whatever. There's no hype. It's just a D200. It's not a professional camera. It's a little bit heavier, yeah. But I don't know. I don't get it. Of course it looks pleasing. The images look pleasing. It looks, well, it is a little bit older and less sterile. Like myself. Maybe that's why I like this camera so much. The ISO performance is not great. 1600 ISO and your images look... So if you use this camera, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. That's what she said. It uses CF cards. It's not that convenient anymore. I remember when I got my D800, it used CF cards. I thought, oh wow, what a professional camera that is, right? With these large cards. They all almost look like a hard drive, yeah. But for this camera, I got a slow one inside, like 16 gigabytes. It's way too much for this camera. You would not need it. This camera is beautiful. It feels good in your hand. It's not to talk this down at any means. I just do not understand the hype. But there's something, and this may not apply to you, but when I press the shutter of nowadays cameras, it's shy. It's almost like they're sorry. It's a kind of apologetic sound. Not with the D200. If you press the shutter, kladong! That's a shutter, and it doesn't have to be a secret that you took a picture. So that's something I like, and maybe you like that too. Listen to that. Kladong. That's a good sound. Who needs a scarecrow, right? It is good to scare away birds in your cherry tree. Just go out and take some pictures of them. They will hear. So, no need for a scarecrow or anything like that. No. But I like the sound. And I like the colors too, so what am I doing here? With this being said, the D200 is a good camera. Maybe you want another camera for your collection. Yeah? Maybe you want an old camera to relive a time when you started photography, or when you used a D200 back then, maybe. Maybe you used the D40 like myself. It's almost the same. It's a CCD, just a little, even less megapixels. But I took so many great pictures with the D40 and the kit lens. I traveled to Rome with it. It was a nice camera, but of course it has no functionality, like it has no video mode. The D200 has no video mode, of course. The D3 doesn't have video mode. But it's not always needed. These cameras were meant for photography. The lenses back then were meant for photography. They are not for video. At least they are not designed for that. And this is what gives them a specific look. Like the D200, it has a specific look to it. And if you want to try it out, try it out. They're cheap, 60, 70, 80 bucks. You get a one that is in a all right condition for the age, right? It's 20 years. So there's nothing to expect. So me personally, I do not get the hype. I do not understand why this camera is so hyped right now. I don't know. I could understand the D3. The D3 was kind of a special camera and it's not that expensive anymore. I got the D3. I use it with a 50mm 1.4. Excellent pictures, best I've seen. The look is so dreamy. It's so nice. The D200 is a fun to use camera. And as I said, you hear the shutter. It's not apologetic. Like, for example, on the Nikon ZF, it's apologetic. I like the sound of the old DSLRs. And maybe this applies to you too. So, there's nothing more to say about the D200. I keep it, of course, and I use it from time to time. I decide, well, today I will use the D200 with the 35mm. And that's it. That's all I use for that day. But is it an alternative? People say, or it elevated my photography skills. The D200 elevated my photography. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? Why did it elevate your photography? Of course you have to be more careful with the pictures that you take because this camera has no good dynamic range. And of course, because it has less megapixels, you cannot crop your image. Yeah? It's not like a 50 megapixel camera, you just take a wide angle photo and you crop and that's it. No, you cannot do that. I said in one of my videos that the way how we started is the important factor here. If you started photography, real photography, and not with a mirrorless camera, then you do not need a camera to elevate your photography. And if you started with a mirrorless camera, then there is no need to go back to elevate your photography that you have right now. What you use right now is way more important. What you use right now is way more convenient. People that are a little bit older, like myself, they are around 40 now. We know what it meant, right? We know what it meant using the first DSLRs. Oh, we know. And you know that you know. So why going back? Just for fun, yes, for fun, for inconvenience, but it will not elevate anything. It will not make you a better photographer. You will become a better photographer if you just use one camera, one lens, and that's it. Just a 50mm and a full frame body, that's it. You learn how to see. But still, you cannot learn. Photography is not something that you can learn or that you must learn even. It is a way to see things. It is a way of putting emotion into what you want to show people. Yeah? When you want to show people the beauty of something, of a building, of a person. I did portraiture, fine art portraiture mostly. So I took some emotions into that. And these emotions were visible by the person that I shot or by people that looked at the pictures. And this is photography. So you do not need an old camera to elevate your photography. You do not need no hype. Get a full frame camera and a 50mm lens or 35mm or 40, whatever, around that range. And then do not zoom, do not use zooms or do not crop. Just go out, shoot. Get a Fuji, maybe. A Fuji is fine as well. APS-C sensor camera is fine. It's pretty good, I must say. If you want to have the experience of the older DSLRs. Just get a DSLR, all right. But it does not have to be the D200. The D200 will slow you down unnecessarily. So I do not think that it will do much. Get another one. Maybe get, for photography, get a Panasonic. Yes, I said that. Get a Panasonic S1 for photography. And adapt an old lens. That's an experience. It's nice. I adapt lenses all the time. So get a nice old lens adapted. Get a Flektogon, if you can put your hands onto that. Or get a Zeiss 50, 1.4 something. And then go out and shoot. Try out. And try out if you can see. Try out if your way to see pleases you. You cannot just buy a photography masterclass and something and then you know how to shoot. No, you will not learn it from that. You have the talent. And if you have the talent, if you can see, and if you can put emotions into that what you see, then you are a good photographer. It's not about composition always. It's not about, oh, it has to be like this, it has to be like that. No, it has not. It is your style, you. Just shoot what you see and what you feel. Try to feel it. Try to feel what you shoot. You can use the D200 for that, or any other camera there is. But I would recommend using a camera with a 50mm or 35, just one lens, that's it. Go out, shoot, feel, look, and then you get the feeling. But you cannot learn this. You cannot buy a masterclass and learn it. You do not need to go to photography school to learn how to take pictures or how to film. It's about the style, and this is you. It is your personal style. Stick to that. When you look at your pictures or videos, if you like what you see, you did everything right. With this being said, do not fall for hypes. Find something that fits for your needs. The D200 most likely will not.
Yes?
Come
Come again?
Ha, that's what she said.